With Coach White over at Southwest Guilford. Beautiful day for a hard-working football practice. Coach, you're putting the guys through the paces today. Talk about what kind of work you guys are doing here in this Friday morning.
Right now, we're just going through our installs from the week, just cleaning some stuff up we saw on film, making sure we make the right corrections, and getting everything cleaned up for our first heat day tomorrow.
What's been like for the first week for you at Southwest Guilford?
It's been great. Actually, the guys have come up from everything we've done in summer workouts and conditioning. It's translating very well. The schemes have been installed on offensive, defense, and special teams. They've been picking up very well, and excited about getting everything going.
What's some of the things you like about being back in North Carolina again?
Familiarity. This is home 4 years ago, so coming back here, very familiar with the community, very familiar with the coaches. Been welcomed very well by the alumni and organization, principal, and athletic department, and it's been great thus far.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better AD to work with. Brendan Christman's done a heck of a job here.
Top notch, yes sir.
Yep, and you got a good coaching staff working with you here too.
Yes sir. Like I told the coach staff, they inherited me. Every guy that was on the staff decided to stay. I brought in a new defensive coordinator, Coach Kerry Graves. Other than that, the guys have been working hard. They bought into what I'm trying to do, and they've been selling it very well to the kids in our community.
Some of the coaches I've known in the past working around here in other schools. I mean, you look at Coach McGinnis, look at Coach Doak, look at Coach Derek Anderson, not going to find any three men better than those guys.
No, sir. The one thing you cannot take away is knowledge. So I tap into those guys a whole lot, get as much information as possible to make sure that we're doing everything the best way possible to make our kids successful.
What are some of the changes you're making here at Southwest with the football team to help make this a better team?
Organization, structure, and discipline. Just eliminate a lot of the small penalties we had last year. The biggest department we wanted to fix was special teams. We wanted to make sure that unit was prepared and ready to go, so we put a really big emphasis on that during the summer. And just making sure that we're attentive and staying aware in practices and taking away the little mistakes that don't lead over to games.
You lose a good quarterback in Joey McGinnis IV. He led the team last year, and he was a hard worker, good leader, senior leadership, hard to beat that. Who do you bring in to kind of begin to take over that team direction?
Currently, right now, we're two guys are battling at it, Corbin Wilson and Kale Lloyd. Corbin Wilson, one of the best athletes on the team, saw a lot on film. He popped out as soon as he popped the film in. And when you put a guy like that at quarterback, it puts a lot of stress on any defense that we're going to face. Kale Lloyd is a sophomore this year, developing, has a great arm, very instinctual, and right now we make sure that he's incorporating the correct way in the system. We're doing things to make sure he doesn't falter when he gets on the field.
Yeah, I think I remember Corbin Wilson coming all the way back through the middle school program at Southwest. He's come through the program and very good athlete, and it's hard to trade the experience he's got.
Yes, sir. And last year he did a great job. He was one of those guys that flew under the radar. I don't know how he did it, but I'm glad he did, and hopefully we'll be able to showcase all his talents this year.
Got some big linemen up here to help produce some offensive movement up front?
Oh, yes, sir. We got Dawson and Sawyer that are coming up from our JV team. Those guys are really big guys, been doing a great job. We got Christian Kuzar that's coming back from last year, who's played with our JV center, now he's coming to our varsity center. And we also have Jalen Carl, who's going to add to our tight end line and add some bulk up front.
What about on defense? Who's going to be the defensive leaders for you? You got to get that defense going strong, got to hold that other team down.
That's right. Currently, right now, Kyle Puckett has been our guy. A senior leader. You couldn't ask for a smarter guy. Leads by example, works really hard, and is pushing everybody to get better.
I tell you, Kyle Puckett's another name that rings a bell from last year and the previous years. Who's definitely a guy who will step up, and big guy, strong guy, and he's got to be the guy that takes over and carries a lot of this weight on his shoulders.
Yes, sir, and he's been doing that thus far, and we're moving him across the line this year, something that we didn't do in previous years. We want to make sure they have the game plan for him, and it's easy game plan for a guy if he's in the same position every game. We know if he's at nose, so we're going to move him outside to the end a little bit to make the offense stress a little bit.
What do you got to do to get ready for Oak Grove, that first game? Oak Grove comes up on August the 19th, I guess, that first Friday. Get ready for that first game of the season. Are you putting some of that part of the game plan in right now, or are you just getting ready for other things?
We've been working on Oak Grove all summer. That's our only thing. We've been going. The goal is to go 1-0, and Oak Grove is the first one on the schedule. So we took everything we have from last year and everything we've been getting and installing what they do defensively and offensively, and making sure that we're getting prepared for that game.
What about next week? I'll probably be a scrimmage week of some sort. I think I'm going back now. It kind of comes back to memory because I've seen you put this on Twitter. You've been doing a good job promoting, bolding, facing this, getting us out there.
Yes, sir.
You've got those scrimmages next week coming up over at High Point.
Yes, sir.
How about the teams over there you'll be facing?
North Davidson. We'll be facing North Davidson, similar foe we faced last year. We did a little game filming on them from last year and what they did. North Davidson is not going to change much. They're going to come downhill at you. They want to run the ball and be effective. Our goal is to make sure we stay disciplined in our base systems and what we're doing. And our goal next week is to see production and keys, gaps, reads, and make sure our kids are doing the right thing for what we installed over the summers.
Should be a lot of fun, too. If you get to play a game on that Truist Field at the High Point Rockers Stadium, that'll be a lot of fun playing a football game on that for a first time, too.
A new game on turf. That's always good. Nice field over there, very beautiful facilities, and we're excited to get started next Thursday.
And you look towards your special teams. Any kickers, any punters, any guys or return men that kind of stand out for you so far?
Right now, from our return guys, we're still in the phases of trying to find a solid return guy. Once again, Corbin is the guy that's been back there. We have a guy, Darius Hairston. He's been back there, very explosive young man. And by the time we get started, we have our set lineup ready to go.
What about from Coach White's offensive and defensive schemes? What's some of the themes you preach to these guys day in, day out about trying to be better on offense, be better on defense? What's your philosophy, so to speak?
Run the ball well, stop the run. We want to make teams one-dimensional on defensively. The goal is to take away the run game, make them put it in the air. I feel like we can make a high school kid put the ball in the air 25, 30 times. It gives us a better chance to be successful. Offense, we want to control the clock, move the chains, and make sure if those offenses are off the field, they can't score points, and we're on the field, we can't score points.
Well, think about the old running game. One thing's for certain, the quarterback can hand the ball off, give it to the running back. There's a low percentage that ball is going to be exchanged. Passing-wise, you throw a ball in the air, anything can happen. Running-wise, you get the yards, you control the game, like you say.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have 3 really good running backs this year: Jahan Jones, Lawrence Higgs, and Cam McCain. So my biggest problem was trying to find out how to get all 3 of those guys on the field at the same time. But they're going to get very good carries. They're very good evasive backs, very good solid runners, and want to make sure we feed the backs a lot.
And as far as getting ready for the season, what else do you do the rest of this week? Are you practicing on Saturday this week?
Yes, sir. Saturday's our first official hitting day, so we're going to come out in the morning, get a little bit of work. Once again, first day in pass, we don't want to overdo it. We want to keep guys safe, but we want to make sure we get some good work in.
How are your numbers looking so far?
So right now, we have about 45 on varsity, about 45 on JV, so we're pretty good so far.
You're around 90 people,
yes,
so
sir.
That's not bad at all.
Yes,
not
sir.
bad at all. What's it going to take to continue to build this Southwest program? Because you can just go scratch the surface right now. You got to get building, got to get started, a lot of work to be done in the future. What's it going to take to put the foundation of this program and build this thing for the future?
Well, this is the foundation this year, making sure that we do things the right way this year. Now, my goal is to keep moving forward, getting out to the community more, making sure our athletes in the building understand what we need and what we expect from academics first, to being disciplined, to being structured, being on time, and then letting that feed into the school with our teachers, administration, and everybody's preaching the same thing to make sure our whole athletic program stays on track.
And you also, on Twitter, I noticed sometimes you're also starting to push and build and develop and promote the Southwest Guilford media, too, to
Yes,
get
sir.
that media among your students, among your school.
Yes, sir. So right now, this is our first year. We built the media department here. They call it the Cowboy Stampede Network, and that goal was to make sure that we highlight our athletic programs here. We know the media out there is pretty busy. You guys have a lot of schools to cover. We want to make sure that our school is covered correctly from every aspect possible.
Coach, good to talk to you today. Keep up the good work. Stay cool as much as you can, and then also success for the season for you.
Yes, sir. And thank you very much. Appreciate you.